Trying to draw a face is challenging enough, but what's even more challenging is trying to make them look realistic so that you'll actually fall in love with them. So in this video, we'll be talking about my simple technique for drawing realistic looking faces. This technique won't make drawing seem like a walk in the park, but trust me, drawing faces will be a lot more easier for you. Coming up. I'm Jason and I help beginners skip the beginner mistakes and get better at drawing really fast. So if you are new here, you might want to consider subscribing. I'm starting by blocking out the dark areas around the eye, and I'm doing this with my 2B charcoal pencil. When you are trying to block these dark areas, you want to make sure that your pencil is actually really sharp. When you use a sharp pencil, you get precision. After layering with my 2B pencil, I'm going in with my cotton bud or Q-tip to blend those strokes. I mainly use a brush to blend my strokes, but this area is quite small and small areas require either a cotton bud or a blending stump. So if you have a tortillon or a blending stump, you can also use this too. But what I'm basically doing is I just keep layering and darkening with my charcoal pencil until it is as dark as I want it to be. After using the pencil, I use my kneaded eraser to create those shiny whites. If you don't have a kneaded eraser, that's no problem. You can just get a regular eraser. Just make sure that you cut the edge of your regular eraser so that you can have a clean edge. I'm going ahead now to create the eyelashes. I've already done an eyelash tutorial, so you might want to check the description for that. But one major tip I'm keeping in mind now is that I'm making sure that my pencil is sharp. With the charcoal pencil, it's all too easy not to get sharp lines. So I have to go over and over again with my craft knife. I actually use a blade to make it very sharp. You also want to make sure that the lines of your eyelashes have varying lengths. You can make them curved. All of this will make your lashes look more real. Also remember that the lower lash is not as thick as the top lashes. I am also not leaving out the whites of the eye. Like I have said countless times in my other videos, the whites of the eye is not literally white. You must add some kind of tone and shade into it. So now I'm going in with my 2B graphite pencil to add the base layer. And after that, I'm blending that with my cotton bud or my Q-tip. I can continue to go so I make it as dark as it needs to be. To create the little eye bag, I'm not sure if they are called eye bag, but I'm going with eye bag. To create the eye bag under the eye, I'm going in with my 2B pencil and then I dipped my brush into graphite powder to blend that out. And now I'm just trying to create the upper eyelid. So I am first blocking out the eyelid first before I go in with my charcoal to draw the upper eyelashes. When you are drawing the top eyelashes, also remember that you want to make them curved. The top lashes are also thicker than the lower lashes. I'm basically repeating the same process on the other eye, using my charcoal pencil to create the top lashes and the lower lashes, making sure I create the flesh around the eye. The eye is done, at least for the meantime. But now we are moving on to the nose. For the nose, I'm simply going ahead to fill the darkest areas of the nose, and these darkest areas will be the nostrils. The sides of the nose are also supposed to be dark, but this is not so with my reference photo. So instead, I'm using my 2B graphite pencil to create the lines on the sides of the nose. Now I'm basically laying down a base shade with my 2B pencil. I look at where the shadows are in my reference, and these are the sides of the nose, and then I am shading with my 2B pencil. You do well to expose the sides of your pencil to the paper. Expose the lead, the graphite that is at the side of the pencil, so that you are able to blend more smoothly and quickly. This is better than shading with the very tip of the pencil. And of course we have to blend that out, so I'm using my tissue paper to blend this out. And hopefully you do not make the same mistake like I did and you smudge the old charcoal all over the drawing. Watch out for that, don't be like me. and almost immediately I could not resist. I am using my brush dipped in charcoal powder to create the tones and to make things smooth. I will still layer with my graphite pencil to give the nose a definite form, but to be blending, I will use my brush dipped in charcoal powder rather than a blending stump or a tissue paper. I find this technique a lot better when drawing. When you are shading, also remember to keep your lines in circular motions. When you draw in circular motions, you keep your drawings very smooth, and in fact you would not notice the lines in your drawings. I like blending with my brush dipped in charcoal powder. The reason is because it helps to get the drawing very dark very easily, and then also you will find that your drawings will be a lot smoother. Seriously, I mean it. Shading with charcoal powder will make your drawings very smooth, and for this face I have to get the face looking smooth. You also want to take your time with this. The fact that the drawing is sped up will give the impression that I'm actually drawing very fast, but I'm not. This drawing took me hours to complete. In fact, this nose alone took me almost an hour to complete. So you want to take your time when drawing these features. I am repeating the same process with the nose. I first layer with my graphite pencil 2B or 4B, and then I blend with my brush full of charcoal powder. I keep repeating the process. For the finishing touch, I'm going ahead with my kneaded eraser to create the highlights in the nose. It's very easy to use a kneaded eraser. All you have to do is to dab over the area that you want to become bright. And then of course, after creating such harsh highlights, I'm going to tone it down with my brush. This will help to reduce the brightness and will also make it seamless. For the eyebrows, that's a different topic on its own, and I have a tutorial on drawing eyebrows, so I'll pop a link in the description so that you can check that out. But the main goal here is to keep my charcoal pencil sharp as a pin, literally, and then I'm using that to create the lines that go in the direction that my reference shows me. My technique for shading is really easy. All I do is create a base layer with my graphite, and then I just continue to blend things with my charcoal powder. I dip my brush into the graphite powder or charcoal powder depending on how dark the area is, and I just go in circular motions to blend out the graphite that I've already shaded. We are moving on to the lips now, and of course, as you must have guessed already, I have a tutorial on drawing the lips, so you might want to check that out. I'll also pop a link in the description or one of the cards above so that you can learn how to draw more realistic looking lips. But for this, I am marking out the creases or the folds, the wrinkles in the upper lips, and then I am now layering with my 2B pencil. Remember, the goal here is to simply map out the shadows, map out the highlights, and also to map out the lines and the wrinkles of the upper lip. When you are shading, another tip to keep in mind is not to press too hard on the paper. We will still be going darker, so if you press too dark early on, you will ruin the tooth and the bristles of the paper, and the paper will not be able to hold any more graphite later on. So shade softly. After this, I will be blending with my cotton bud. Now I'm going in with my 4B pencil to add more layers to the lip. I'll also blend with my cotton bud. The reason why I'm using a cotton bud here and not a brush is because of this area is quite small. After this, I'll be marking out the highlights with my kneaded eraser. It's a lifesaver. You have to get a kneaded eraser. But then again, you can always make do with a regular eraser. I leave a link to all the materials that I use in the description if you'd like to get them. You see, the reason why many people create nice and very good looking drawings is because of the layer they are shading. You want to layer when you are drawing. Now with the bottom lips, I'm following my advice. I am layering my strokes. I start first with my 2B pencil, and then I will blend with my brush dipped in charcoal powder. After I have blended that out, I also layer with my 4B pencil. If I have to go darker, I will go with my 6B pencil to layer, and to blend, I will dip my brush in charcoal pencil. After creating the base layer for the lip, I'm going ahead with my graphite pencil to create those lines, the wrinkles for the lip. After I create the lines, I will blend out the lines, and then I will use my eraser to bring out the highlights again. If all this sounds confusing to you, don't worry. I have broken them all down in my tutorial for drawing realistic lips. Check the description for that. So in this video, we talked about drawing the eyebrows, drawing the eyes, drawing the mouth, drawing the nose. But we still have to cover drawing the cheeks, we still have to draw the hair, we still have to draw the forehead. Do this. Click the video on the screen now to watch the part 2 on how to draw a realistic face. You'll find how I actually make this whole drawing come together. Watch that, and I'll see you in the next one.